What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of JP Closet. Before we get started, just want to let everyone know these videos are for educational purposes only. Just trying to showcase, use as much knowledge as I know / collected to kind of showcase the shoes that I have in front of you. So that way you can see what you're buying, what's real, what's fake, point out some details. That way, if you're looking to purchase a legit pair, you don't get ripped off. But without further ado, let's get into it. Air Jordan Retro 4 Bred Reimagined. These are set to release February 17th, which will be tomorrow as I'm shooting this video. So on the left side, we have the rep pair. On the right side, we have the sneakers official retail pair. I got these on the sneakers shock drop. So let's get right into it. So first thing you'll notice is the box. The box, it's very, very rare that these rep sellers will ever get the box correct. So again, retail on the right and then fake on the left. The fake pair is just like it has like a vintage yellowish tint on the gray. Whereas of course the retail pair is just that solid gray cement color. You can see that. The reds are slightly different as well. It's a little darker on the fake pair, and then it's much more like kind of vibrant / muted right on the legit pair. So be aware of that. Now y'all tell me about this, right? So the fake pair, it just has a single size Air Jordan 4 Retro Black Fire Red Cement Gray, and it just says size 7, right? Whereas my retail pair, again, it's gonna Air Jordan 4 Retro Black Fire Red Cement Gray, but it has a 7 and it has the women's size underneath it. I think every like retail pair that I've seen from the shock drop has this sticker, and every rep pair has this sticker. So y'all let me know if that's can be used for legit checking purposes or not. Like, is this like an overseas thing and this is like a US based thing, or is this gonna be a good indicator which one's rep and which one's retail? Y'all let me know. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I did notice that every single rep pair I've seen has a single size, just showing the men's size, whereas the retail shock drop pair shows the men's size and the women's size. So I did notice that. I won't get too much into the tissue paper because it's all the same in there. Just the box colors and then that sizing label difference I noticed. But let's get into the shoes. All right, here is the rep pair. So check them out. At first glance, these are pretty solid. So nice slim toe box, nice curvature. Colorization seems to be on point. So overall, just at first glance, this seems to be a very, very well replicated shoe in comparison to its retail counterpart. But let me show you the retail pair, and that's where things get a little tricky. Here's the retail pair. So right off the bat, you're gonna notice this. The retail pair is much more tumbled in comparison to the rep pair. I'm gonna say you really can't use that for legit checking purposes because the tumble leather will vary per pair, because on that pair it's not as tumble leather as this one. So I'm gonna say that's a no as far as like using that for legit checking purposes. However, there are some differences I will point out, and I'll point this out right now. They're using a different build quality, right, for Jordan 4s, I believe, going forward. I think Nike brand / Jordan were saying they're going to start using the SB4 as a model. So the caging is much smaller, kind of horizontal, right, on the Jordan 4s. So you'll see that. And then look at the rep pair in comparison. It's much bigger. So let me see if I can kind of put them side by side so you can see it. So there you go. You can see it in camera. The rep pair is just much bigger. That's just something that the rep pairs, for some reason, I'm sure they'll probably correct that and make it a little smaller. But for the most part, rep Jordan 4s always get the caging wrong for some reason. Another thing is this. Look at how tight the caging is on the retail pair. It's tight. It almost kind of just sits right there on the mesh, right? There's really not like too much give, right? Compared to the rep pair, look at all that give. Look at all this extra mesh just hanging. A lot of reps do this, right? I've noticed with Jordan 4 reps. A lot of them kind of have this give that the retail pairs just don't have. So I would say use that for legit checking purposes. On this particular pair, the Nike Air tags are a little different. In camera, you can kind of see it, right? So on the retail pair, it's a little more smoked out. It's very light, but you can kind of see it's just a little more defined and a little more smoked out. Whereas on the rep pair, I don't know, it's almost like it's foggy. Like it's just, there's a slight color difference. The back is just supposed to be jet black, so check that out. And then the back of this, it's just way darker. So look at the difference. You can see it. Again, the rep pair has like a fogginess to it, where on the retail pair, it's just jet black. And you can see this in camera. I'm using natural lighting. There is no lighting manipulation, so you can see it. There you go. Look at the difference. That's an indicator right there, which one is the real versus the fake. Another thing is this. The rep pair is just cut slightly off. I don't know if they used just the wrong model, right? But check this out. So look at the toe boxes. It's very light, but you can see it, right? These are the exact same size, but for some reason, the reps are just, they're built bigger for some reason. So a lot of reps have like scaling issues where they just don't build them to scale correctly, like how the retailers are. And this one, you know, it has the same issue. Like the rep is just built way bigger than what it's supposed to be, which is causing this like really lengthy looking toe box, right? Where on the retail pair, it's just cut small and defined like how it should be. On the retail pair, it's just tight. Whereas like on the left pair, which is the rep, it's kind of bloated and kind of longer than what it needs to be. Like, I'll give you an example. This doesn't fit true to size. This fit almost like a 7.5, even though it's a 7, and these fit true to size, which is a 7 men. So yeah, again, scaling issues with the rep. And again, look at those toe box differences, and they're supposed to be the same size. Again, this is not like every pair is different. This is just a scaling, modeling issue that the reps have. So be aware of that. What else? Again, you can see it in camera. Look at the caging difference, right? This one is just more like vertical and kind of rounded, right? This one's slimmer and more horizontal. So that is the difference as well. That caging is gonna be your best friend. It's gonna tell you which one's the rep and which one's the retail. So be aware of that. Here are the backs. Again, same issues because the rep is built so much bigger. It has that scaling issue, right? Whereas everything is just a little bit higher. So I have these pretty levels. So look at the difference in height. The rep is just bigger. It's just built taller for some reason, right? Compared to the retail pair. And then you can see it when I compare it. Let me do this. Let me grab this pair so you can see it. If I go side by side, you'll see the difference in height. So look at that. Like, let me get these to kind of line up. About right there. There you go. Very small, but look at the difference in height. Again, left side is the rep and right is the retail. So it's just built a little taller. Tabs are pretty identical. I wouldn't really use that as a legit check purpose. They're pretty good. But again, look how longer the rep is built compared to look how kind of wider the retail is built. You can see that in camera. There you go. The tab is built longer. And then on the rep, and then on the right side, which is the retail, is built a little wider. Colorization. I'm gonna say the retail is a slight shade different as far as the gray, so be aware of that. Another thing that's really noticeable about this rep as well is this. Look at the tongue differences. The rep, for some reason, it's padded pretty similar to the retail, but it just sits shorter. It doesn't really fan out, and then they're both factory laced, both the rep and the retail, right? But it doesn't really fan out like how the retails are, and it sits much shorter compared to, look at the retail pair. So look at the difference. It's very slight, but You can see it in camera. Look at the difference in how one sits. The retail pair is much longer and the tongue kind of fans out more. Again, both laced the exact same way, both factory lace, but yet, and then it's not because of tightness. This, even though this one might look a little tighter, right? They're both about the same as far as tightness, right? And again, the retail just kind of fans out more and sits higher compared to the rep pair. And I'll show you a side by side again. Like, look at the difference. Look at that. Look at this. Again, very slight, but something worth mentioning. All right. And that's really it, guys. Like, as far as like the differences, right? I'm like, here is again the right retail pair, and you can see it. Again, nice tumble to it, but then certain parts aren't really tumbled like that. But here is the right rep pair, and again, just look how bigger and more bloated this shoe is built, right? And look at the caging difference. Again, the right's on the top. Look at the cages, they're just completely different. This one is just way more fat than what it needs to be. And this one, again, more horizontal and a little slimmer. And we still have the same issue, that scaling issue. It's just that, again, these are supposed to be the same size, but the rep is just built to be much bigger than what it needs to be. And we still have the tongue flaws. Again, right side is the retail and the left is the rep. Overall, pretty good attempt, right? But not without its flaws. So just be aware of that. Oh, and then I think the last thing I'll point out is the midsoles are a little slightly different too. You can see it in camera. See if I can get that to focus. So the midsole colors are slightly different. The black is more, again, more kind of muted, kind of ashy, right? Like it has like a very faint color to it, whereas like you see on the retail pair, it's more like almost like a jet black. So the midsoles are just slightly different as well. But I'll end the video there. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Hopefully, you know, if you're looking to score these this weekend, I'm sure there'll be plenty of pairs out there, right? You can get a pair and you should be good. Like the resale, the retail resale is really low on these anyways. Not super crazy. But with this shoe being so accessible, I'm sure there are gonna be some bad faith people out there. They're gonna try to push reps saying they're real, or they might not know. So use this video for legit checking purposes. Hopefully I can help you out with that. But I'll end it there. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. All my socials are in the description. I'll be there as well. I'll see everyone next time. Peace.